There's a strange feeling many deep thinkers experience, but rarely talk about. You're not unhappy in the obvious sense. Nothing is wrong. Your life is stable. You're functioning. But underneath it all, there's a quiet emptiness. Not sadness, not depression, just a subtle sense that something is missing and you can't name it. You go through your day. You think. You analyze. You understand things. And yet, when things slow down, you feel disconnected from your own life. What makes this worse is that you know how fortunate you are. So you don't complain. You don't ask for help. You tell yourself you should be grateful. But the emptiness remains. What if this feeling isn't a flaw in you? What if it's a consequence of how deeply you see the world? Today, we're going to explore why deep thinkers feel empty more often and why this side of intelligence is rarely talked about. Before we dive into this topic, kindly subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow, and it helps me reach more people who think like you. Thanks. Now, what if your emptiness isn't weakness, but depth without direction? Section 1. Emptiness is different from sadness. Most people misunderstand emptiness. Sadness has weight. It has a reason. You can usually point to what hurts. Emptiness is quieter. It feels like emotional distance, like you're watching your life from a step back, like things that should matter don't land the way they used to. Many deep thinkers describe it this way. I feel fine but not fulfilled. I'm okay but not alive. This is important because emptiness often shows up when pain is absent. And that's why it's so confusing. Ask yourself, why does life sometimes feel more empty when it's finally calm? Because pain demands attention. Emptiness doesn't. Pain forces you to respond. Emptiness lets you drift. Section 2. Deep thinkers see through illusions. One reason deep thinkers feel empty more often is simple, but uncomfortable. You see too much. You see through surface-level goals. You notice contradictions in social expectations. You understand that many things people chase don't actually bring fulfillment, while others are comforted by simple narratives. Success will make me happy. Once I reach this point, I'll be satisfied. You question them. And once illusions collapse, they don't come back. Here's a quiet, human moment many deep thinkers recognize. You achieve something you once wanted. You pause. You wait for the feeling, and it never arrives. Not because you're ungrateful, but because you already understood deep down that this wouldn't fix everything. Lesson: awareness removes comfort before it gives meaning. Section 3. Overthinking creates distance from life. Deep thinkers live largely in their minds. You analyze conversations after they happen. You replay moments. You imagine alternate paths your life could have taken. Thinking becomes your default way of existing. But there's a cost. The more you analyze life, the less you feel it. Instead of being inside moments, you observe them. Instead of experiencing emotions fully, you interpret them. Over time, this creates a quiet separation between you and your own life. You're present, but not immersed. Aware, but not engaged. Understanding life is not the same as living it. And emptiness often appears in that gap. Section 4. You feel misaligned, not lost. Many deep thinkers think they're lost, but most aren't. They're misaligned. Your external life may be functioning perfectly, but internally, something no longer matches. Your routines fit who you used to be. Your goals reflect an older version of yourself. Your identity hasn't caught up with your awareness. So you feel restless, disconnected, empty, not because life lacks value, but because it no longer feels true. Emptiness often means your inner life has outgrown your outer one. Section 5. You carry meaning too heavily. Deep thinkers don't accept meaning lightly. You don't borrow purpose easily from society, culture, or tradition. You question it, and that creates pressure. You feel responsible for finding something meaningful enough to justify existence itself. So when life feels ordinary, or repetitive, or quiet, it feels empty, not because it is, but because you expect meaning to be profound, constant, and intense. Lesson: depth can make simple moments feel insufficient. This is one of the hidden burdens of intelligence. Section 6. You've suppressed parts of yourself. Many deep thinkers learned early to suppress parts of themselves. You learn to be rational, controlled, reasonable. You pushed down emotion, creativity, curiosity, not because they disappeared, but because they didn't fit. Over time, suppression turns into numbness. You don't feel deeply, not pain, not joy, just emptiness. What you silence in yourself doesn't vanish. It goes quiet. And quiet emptiness is often the result. Section 7. Why distraction makes it worse. When emptiness appears, most people try to escape it. They scroll, they fill time, they stay busy, but distraction only pushes emptiness further underground. It doesn't resolve it, because emptiness isn't asking for stimulation. It's asking for reconnection. You can't distract yourself into meaning. Section 8. What emptiness is actually doing. Emptiness is not punishment. It's feedback. It appears when your life no longer reflects your inner depth. Your mind has outpaced your meaning. Your awareness lacks expression. Emptiness is often the space where something truer is trying to emerge. Emptiness is not the absence of meaning. It's the demand for it. Conclusion. If you're a deep thinker who feels empty more often, you are not broken. You are not defective. You are not failing at life. You are aware in a world that rewards distraction. Sensitive in a culture that values noise. Thoughtful in a time that avoids depth. Sometimes emptiness is not the end of meaning, but the beginning of a more honest life. If this felt like it was speaking directly to you, subscribe. This channel is for people who think deeply and feel quietly. Thanks for watching.